Hey, we're wising up to that now, aren't we, lads?
We're sure.
You're getting a little bit wise to that.
We're ready for you.
When I go silent, you two know to go silent now, don't you?
That's it. Yeah. We'll just sit and wait for the inevitable.
Brilliant. Thanks ever so much. Bit of deja vu. I feel like I was only here this time last night.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Well,
you'd think there'd be some other people on this podcast, wouldn't you? But, you know.
Hey, we are now the official non-pod Dodgers.
We are, yeah. We are.
Officially. But actually, we say that. I think Gilly and Smarty are doing both the B and C after Stoke and after Huddersfield together. I don't know how it plays out. It's just somebody's done a bit of a rota. So thank you ever so much for joining us, everybody. Your eyes are not deceiving you. It is the same three as last night. The three Musketeers, as Jay's named us on Twitter. Yeah, few bits to talk about. We're not going to get into last night's game too much. You might have seen a poll in the chat if you've joined us through YouTube. Just want to get people's thoughts on the weekend's game as to who was their man of the match. Minus Somerville, it was clear and obvious Crescencio was our man of the match, but there was some really good performances that probably went a little bit under the radar because of Somerville's outstanding performance. But anyway, loads and loads to talk about as ever. A couple of other new little bits as well that Carl's just thrown at me that we're going to decide to do. And we'll run a bit of an intro and we'll get into it.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Orta Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
You look like fucking Brolin, you're a Leeds hating bastard. Look like some sort of fucking weird floating head. No. The utensil player a bit, innit?
I mean, I feel a bit right, dickhead.
Nothing spectacular, really.
I like that utensil sign. That goes a little bit unnoticed because it's crammed into the middle of that intro. But it is a very, very, very stupid comment, and he doesn't get enough stick for it. In my opinion, he doesn't get enough stick for it.
He got some for a while after it, but
he did. But well warranted. Absolutely well warranted, because to use the word utensil instead of utility is nothing short of idiotic. If you ask me,
he's used it once or twice since then as well, hasn't he? Unknowingly.
It keeps it alive.
What are we doing, chaps? Anyway, we're both bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on this Tuesday evening.
Pretty much the opposite of that, to be completely honest with you. I'm half dead.
I'm all right.
I'm feeling a bit knackered. It feels like the Mondayest Tuesday I've had in a long time. When I woke up for work this morning, it was a little bit cold last night, and I just didn't really want to get out of bed this morning.
No, it's getting harder and harder, isn't it?
Yeah, and the clocks go back this weekend, which means we get an extra hour in bed, but it also means it gets darker an hour early.
I don't like it. Just leave it alone.
I think the only thing with that is, winter is coming in it, and so most of the games are going to be under the lights, which are good, which is good, because even by sort of half time at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, it's starting to get dark and the lights come on, don't they? So I quite like winter as a season. I think I don't think it's my favourite season, but I think if I had to pick, I think it's probably my second favourite season. What's your favourite season? Let's talk about seasons before we got into any football. What's your favourite season, Jay, other than hell?
Well, obviously everyone loves summer, but I do love winter. I love when it's snowy and stuff, and I actually quite like going out for a drive in the Dales and stuff when it's like that, because there's no one there and it's just really picturesque. No, just driving, mate. Just driving. It's a bit cold for that kind of stuff. But I just, as long as I'm not like trying to walk somewhere with gale force winds and ice cold rain blasting in my face, if I'm actually like sat indoors and it's snowing, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, there's nothing better than being in the house with the heating on when it's cold outside. But when you're outside and it's fucking freezing and you're really cold and you can't warm up, then it's not actually that nice. Carl, what's your favourite season and why? This isn't blind date, by the way. We're not gonna get back onto the Cilla Blackfeet. I'm not gonna pick one of you as my favourite.
Is this where you bring a guest on and she turns us both down?
Yeah, she's sitting there and it's just a silhouette.
Fuck that! I'm not going out with either of these two.
My favourite season is the 2000-2001 season when we got the semi-finals of the Champions League.
Great age.
Yeah, great age. Summertime, summertime. Just I can't be dealing with this darkness shite. Can't do it. Just give me sunshine. Gilly hates it. Man.
You're gonna get a Photoshop, Luke.
Yeah, I know we've already done this Cilla Black thing, Danny. Thanks for joining. Everybody who doesn't know Danny from Not Another Leeds podcast, Smart and I did join him a week or so ago now. Great fun, great bunch of lads, and go check them out if you haven't already. But yeah, they're smart. They are a good laugh. And Danny's the one who puts my face on anything and everything. Not anything and everything, but yeah, he does a bit of photoshopping, shall we say? He doesn't put my face on anything and everything. Right, I suppose we better talk a little bit about football. Seeing as though it's a Leeds United podcast, and most people are here to hear our wise words and wisdom. Our knowledge. Have we got any predictions to go through, Jay? Did Gilly manage to get them over, or are we still begging around for a crumb of scraps?
I've not had anything today, so we're just gonna have to assume that not much has changed, because I think we all went for a Leeds win, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't think anyone got it spot on. I think I said 3-1. There was a lot of 3-0s and 2-1s and 2-0s. I don't remember anybody saying 3-2.
I think I went 4-1.
There might be a couple of 3-pointers. Well, we'll find out. I'm sure Gilly will update us a little bit later on in the week or whenever he's next on. I think he's on, as I said, doing B and C probably Thursday and Sunday by the looks of things. Right then, let's talk about what we've. Because we don't want to talk too much about the game at the weekend, because the three of us were all on last night, and who wants to listen to us to repeat ourselves? What we thought we'd do is we'd actually go through one or two the most recent news articles from Leeds News Now. I don't know if anybody knows the website. It can be an absolute nightmare of a website that they're miles out, or there can actually be some really, really good stuff on there. And I'm just going to pick stuff at random just to have a bit of a chat about. So the first one I've actually picked for us to discuss tonight is a statement actually that comes from Liverpool legend who said 100% I would have jumped at the chance to join Leeds United. Now, before I ask you what your thoughts on this were, who do you think this is about?
What time period?
In the 90s.
In the 90s? Good God. I can't even remember.
That's a tough one.
We end up being someone like...
I don't think you'll get him. I don't think you'll get him. Apparently we should. He's 65 years of age now.
Like
no. So I'll tell you who it was. It was John Aldridge.
Okay.
And it's quite interesting. Yeah, quite interesting. He was speaking to We Are Liverpool podcast, where he looked back on his career and how interest from Howard Wilkinson did not amount to a move to Ellen Road. It was one of the most prolific strikers of his generation, with a tally of 330 career goals in England, the sixth highest of all time. So, what do we make of it? I mean, obviously we did sign one Liverpool. Oh, in fact, we signed two Liverpool of their legendary strikers, and both of them were dog shit for us.
Oh man, Ian Rush.
Yeah, and Robbie Fowler as well. So I mean,
Ian Rush and Robbie Fowler.
This one would have had to have worked out better than one of those two. Because I mean, would you put those two down as arguably some of our worst signings? I mean, we've had some bad signings, but when you think of the respect and everything that they've got from Liverpool, and they had good careers at Liverpool, both of them respectively had good goal scoring careers at Liverpool, but they came to us and they just flopped.
I mean, they weren't terrible. He scored a few goals. He scored like 11, didn't he, that first season? But
I think the thing with Fowler was for me was the way he left.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. It's like, if he'd not left the way he had, I don't think he'd be looked back on as a flop so much, because he did all right. He just wasn't there very long, and he left under a bit of a cloud.
Can we ban this guy as well, please? Just put him in timeout. Where are you? What are them people called who look after the chat?
Moderators.
Moderators. Can we get him in a ban for 5 minutes, please?
Can we sweep the chat there, please?
About...
Did you just nearly call him the bin men, Karl?
Take him out. Just fucking take him out.
So yeah, just a little bit back on Aldridge. He says, I just scored my 8th goal against Barcelona in 6 games at the Camp Nou, and Howard Wilkinson was watching when he was at Leeds. I actually thought, Leeds, big club, I'll have a bit of that. As soon as we beat Barcelona 3-1 my last away game, I scored 2. I thought it's got to be on. So there must have been some substance to this. He said the club wanted 400 grand for me to come in. For some reason, I don't know what it was all about. Would I have gone to Leeds? 100%. Yeah, man, I just thought it was a nice little story to start on. You know, he's obviously we're still getting talked about. We're not famous anymore and all that. But yeah, it's I don't think you'd have ever got that, would you, if I'd have told you?
Not a chance. Years. I can't remember most of their players anyway, so I've just been sat there with the same 3 names in my head.
Yeah. Good point. Right then, the next one. I don't know if anybody's seen or heard any of the interviews that from Alex Neil in preparation for tomorrow night's game.
I haven't heard our press conference either.
No.
Can you give us the lowdown, please?
I haven't listened to Daniel's all the way through. There was, I mean, we'll come on to the lineups and stuff in a bit, but there's no fresh injury news as far as we're aware or we're concerned. But there was an interesting one from I've heard parts of from Alex Neil, who's obviously the coach there at the Potters, and he said they're in much better spirits. Blah blah blah. You know, they've moved up to 20. Didn't they beat Sunderland actually?
They did
at the weekend, yeah. And Sunderland are flying, aren't they?
Yeah.
Not tonight. We're not losing to Leicester.
Are they losing already?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. So yeah, I mean, in the interview, Neil said Stoke weren't able to follow the commentary in the Championship when they were relegated. Blah blah blah. Struggling to make their financial advantage over the rest of the division count. Finishing 16th in the first season. Blah blah blah. 14th, 15th, 15th, 14th, 16th. Leeds, meanwhile, are flexing their muscles and overall strength as a relegated side, bringing on an England and Italian international off the bench. I think he's on about Bamford there.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
He's got to be on about Bamford.
Jesus Christ, that's a stretch.
I will take the Italian international. Willie Nonto is an Italian international, but to use Paddy Bamford in a cry, a war cry for help, you know what I mean? It's a little bit of a stretch. But on the bench over City, it's going to be really tough when you take on any teams who've come down from the Premier League. They've retained some Premier League players. They've obviously got financial clout, which comes with having been in the top flight, strengthen the squad as they see fit to try win the Championship or certainly get out of the Championship. They're always hard to compete with. That first year when they come down, that's arguably when they should always be the strongest in the division. I think they're now starting to have a little bit of rhythm. Leeds have probably had a little bit more churn than the other teams. Certainly when you look at Leicester, they've had a few things that changed on and off the pitch. But Daniel Farke knows the division really well and think his team at the moment is arguably, from what I've seen, as strong as his team that we saw at Norwich. Interesting that bit.
Yeah.
I think we're stronger than any side he had at Norwich, other than a Buendia.
Yeah, we're minus a Buendia there, I think, and then it's supremely stronger than.
On paper, I agree. It's whether we are as strong as them on the field through the season. We're looking good at the moment, so
yeah.
You know.
I think we're going to score more goals from different areas of the pitch than we have done previously. Even I think under Bielsa. Look at Somerville now. He's on 4 or 5 goals now.
Yeah. We're his second season there when they absolutely decimated the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you disagree with anything with what Alex Neil says there? Because do you think the first season down is the season you should be competing naturally to go straight back up because you're going to try and keep all of the majority of your or some of your players that have come down with you? I think it's slightly different for us being Leeds because we've had such a high turnaround. and obviously the takeover and things. So it's almost been detrimental to us being relegated because we've had to ship players out on loan who still belong to us. We've had to let players go at the last minute. We've had to replace them. But I think we've done a really professional job of doing it this time. It's very unlike Leeds, isn't it? When you consider the way we've gone about our business. What do you think, Karl?
I think it's a bit of a cliche that you should be straight away challenging, because not every team that comes down, keeps hold of the squad that they've actually had, in the Premier League. And at the end of the day, that squad's clearly not good enough to keep a team in the Premier League. So that's not to kind of say that they're going to be good enough to be challenging at the top end of the Championship. I think with the overhaul and playing staff that we've had this summer, I think it's an absolute miracle where we are at the moment. Not that I'm saying we're lucky to be there. I'm just saying for Fark to actually implement what he wanted so quickly. Like, he literally started the season, his squad was, different. And then to just pull it around the way he has with such a short space of time, and to see how, even he said after the game in a press conference that he hadn't actually coached any of the final formation that they were playing, which looked like a 3-2-5 or something like that.
It was a 3-1-6, I think.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the players to understand that when they're playing in a formation that they haven't actually been coached in, to execute it quite well, I think it says a lot about Fark as a manager, and proving a point that if he was ever to be backed properly, that he could do some bits, So I think what Alex Neil is saying is true in some aspects, because when Newcastle came down, they kept pretty much their whole squad. They kept the same squad that came down from the Premier League, essentially. So they just had Rafa Benitez in charge as well. So it's different strokes for different folks, I think, at different seasons. Some teams you could see it happening very, very easily, and other teams not so easy.
I reckon Newcastle probably had a stronger hand, because they were a club that wouldn't have expected to get relegated, would they? So relegation clauses wouldn't have been very prevalent in their contracts. They've always been a thing, not to the extent that they seemingly are now, but they probably didn't have many of those, so they were able to put the foot down with some of the players, I reckon.
Yeah, I think I think he's doing a fantastic job, to be fair, and long may it continue. But I like I said, I think Alex Neil is just trying to fill lines on a paper, on a column for someone,
Been asked to talk, and he's talked.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't disagree with anything he said, really. I think your best opportunity, if we don't go up this season, we've got to take into account there's another 3 teams coming down from the Premier League with parachute payments and potentially Premier League level players that we're going to be up against for one of those 2 automatics and then a playoff, obviously. So yeah, mate. Whilst I don't disagree, it's horses for courses, isn't it? It's pretty obvious. Do you know what I mean? It's what he said is pretty.
Do you think is it? Yeah, but do you think is he trying to play mind games as well by just saying that, you should be up there, you should be doing this, and blah blah blah, and it's like, that could also play into the heads of
I think
less credible managers than Fark.
Yeah, I think for me though, if he was doing that, would he have needed to say that Leeds have gone through a big transition and to be where they are? Do you know what I mean? He said they've been a little bit more churn than the other teams, and he said that we're as strong. Will look as strong as any team he had at Norwich. So I don't think so. I think it's quite an honest assessment of what we're going to be going, of where we are certainly this season, but what we should be, the expectations are as well. We need to be realistic yet optimistic as well, I think.
Yeah. I agree with what Karl said though. I think it is a cliche that you should be strongest. On paper, squad wise, absolutely you should, but if you've had a season of turmoil, the dressing room atmosphere is smashed, and everyone's just in the dumps and don't want to be there, that doesn't make for a successful side. They're not going to go out and play their hearts out every Saturday, are they? So it's not necessarily true that you are strongest then. it depends on the club and the situation.
Yeah, psychologically, the club could be absolutely banjoed from the inside out and make no headway at all. Like,
if it's a club that's sort of yo-yoing and they've gone up and they're expecting hard seasons, so the spirits are not completely smashed by getting relegated or anything like that, because they kind of expected that's where they were going to be, and they'll have a few quality additions. They go back down, they'll be stronger than they were the previous season when they went up. So for teams like that, it rings true, I think, but for established sides, not so much.
Let me ask you this question then. Do you think without Farker, let's hypothetically suggest we've still got, I don't know, Jesse Marsh or something like that in charge, would we still be in a similar position with the same group of players? Do you think how much credit is of the current performances in the current league position is down to Farker and the coaching team, and how much is down to having better players than the other teams we're playing against?
I think you've got to give a massive amount of it to Farker. Jesse Marsh couldn't have done this with these players. He'd still be trying to play the wrong tactics. It's the manager's system that makes it tick. The players just complement that.
I mean, I agree. I love watching this style of football we're playing. We're on the front foot. They're playing, the movement, the pressing. It's really, really aesthetically pleasing, isn't it? It's what football is about, and it goes back to, and there's always going to be the comparisons, no matter how much we like it or not, to when Bielsa took over. Now we've not had that Bielsa moment yet, where actually we almost think he'd reinvented the wheel, so to speak. But it does feel very much like it's good. It's good to what I mean. We said it last night, and we probably went on about it a little bit too much last night, but it's good to be back watching proper football and not watching a team set up to try and nick a point or nick a win, or do you know what I mean? We actually feel we look like we should. Arguably, we probably should have won every game we've played this season.
Yeah.
If you look at the performances, we've not had one performance I can't remember anyway. Well, maybe Southampton, but even then, we probably looked. I bet they took their chances. Probably Southampton would be the only one that I would suggest is the game we deserve to lose. The rest of them, I think we probably should have won.
Yeah.
The thing that strikes me with this season with Farker is that this actually feels like and looks like to me the football we were promised we were going to get from Jesse Marsh when they told us it were going to be like Bielsa, but a bit more solid at the back. That's what this is. That's what this is.
Yeah,
I'm totally here for it. I don't want to blaspheme and sort of say, it's better than Bielsa's football, but it's not as genius going forward. You don't shit yourself every time we go forward.
No,
that's
I
the
get
thing,
it. And I think it helps though having players. I mean, you've only got to look at the reaction at the end of the game and after the third goal at the weekend to actually see the players are enjoying it. There was none of that. There was in very small portions last season we saw it, but this season it almost seems that they want to be there. That they're enjoying playing for each other. They all seem like they're good mates. There's no separation, and it felt like it at times last year where boys didn't really integrate and whatever else. And it's just a nice position to be in. And I think just going back to the original question about Alex Neil and his comments, I think it's a fair assessment. And I think we've still got a lot to look forward to. I think we're going to get better and better. Whereas I think the teams that have been above us can arguably only get worse. Leicester and Preston and Ipswich, and they're almost at their peak. Where I think we've still got a way to go till we hit that this season. For me,
yeah, we're still climbing and they've plateaued. There's nowhere for them to go but down, like you say.
I mean, don't get me wrong; they might plateau all season. We just don't know.
They might,
that level all season, but yeah, it's a nice feeling to have, and I think one of the regular listeners watchers said to me in the comments on the back of last night's video that they didn't agree, and that Leicester would. I can't remember the exact comment. I don't know if you can find it, Jay, in a moment, but something along that. I can't even remember who it was, so apologies. But yeah, something along the lines. Didn't agree with my comments around us maybe giving Leicester a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
It was a YouTube comment. It doesn't matter that much, but yeah, I think each to their own. I think we are one of the teams, if not. I mean, didn't Hull beat them? Leicester. Who beat Leicester early on?
I can't remember.
Was South? No, they beat
I
Southampton.
don't recall them losing.
They have lost one, yeah.
It was at home as well. It was at Leicester. Anyway, irrespective, I think it was Hull. So yeah, I think when you look on paper, we've got a team that's much better organised, much better than Hull, and we probably should have beaten Hull away from home had we kept 11 men on the field. So yeah, look, it's going to be. It was Hull.
Yeah, at Leicester.
I've got your comment for you if you want to read it.
Go on then.
There you go. Fan mail.
Right. Sorry. Yeah. The difference between Leicester and Leeds is that they have experienced players like Vardy. We have raw talent. In the long term, yes, we have more talent in our forward line, but they have far better efficiency in front of goal. They won't need 19 chances, for example, to put 3 in against Leeds. I think they'll beat us at Leicester and we'll do something with them. No, that's fair. And I mean, it's not a wrong comment. I just felt like. I don't even think I said that we'd hammer Leicester or beat Leicester. I said I think we will surprise a lot of people, including probably the bookies, the night we do play Leicester at Leicester. I don't think it'll be as straightforward. And look, they have got a good squad and they have got some real quality when it comes to being in front of goal. But we've also got to take into account the players they're going to lose in, I think, January for the AFCON. So yeah, I mean, interesting season ahead. I think if they continue at this rate until January, they will take some catching because they're expecting to lose a solid amount of their players. But if we continue to improve at the rate that we're improving, it's going to make for a great season.
100%. I'm loving going. We said it yesterday, but it became a chore at one point, and it's not now. There's no team that you fear. There's no games you go to dreading it. Not at all. I mean, look at the game we lost the other week, and everyone were just like, "Oh well, it's championship. That happens."
Was that Saints? Was it?
Yeah.
Chuck it on the fuck it bucket and move on.
It might have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone was just chilled about it. I've not seen that. I don't think I've seen that ever from our fan base, not on social media anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I dread to think what social media looked like at half time though against Norwich. Was it a cesspit? I obviously didn't see, but
I didn't get to see. So I were in London when I walking around bloody streets in pissing rain.
I only touched my phone to text G at half time, and then I put it away again on silent until after the game.
I have to turn notifications on. I've got an app that I get all the scores through, so I'm getting the scores through. Actually, just a quick update: the under 23s are 3-0 up at home to Hertha Berlin's second team. Nice. Goal scorers: Matteo Joseph, Louis Bate, and Keenan Carroll. Matteo Joseph and Carroll.
Friend of the pod.
Oh, Russ, apologies. I've stole your thunder.
You've done him
so
there,
sorry.
Luke.
You've two-footed him at the back post.
Sorry, Russ. I love your input. I do apologise. Sorry, Russ. Really quickly, I just want to do a quick quiz. How well do you know Jorginho Rutter? It's 15 questions. We're going to fly through, and we'll see between the three of us how well we know Jorginho Rutter. Which club did we sign him from? Hoffenheim, wasn't it? Obviously, we get that one right.
I was going to say, buddy, Mönchengladbach then, because of Farke been there. Oh, God.
Oh, it's not working anyway, the quiz. Fuck it.
In true Orta know better technical.
Oh, that's brilliant. I fucking loves.
It's not working.
It was a short quiz, that Luke, but I enjoyed
it was a quiz on the bottom of the Alex Neil statement. So I thought, why not? We'll do it between us. But
we were 100% right anyway, so that's okay.
Yeah, we got that one right.
We smashed that quiz.
Shall we do one more thing off this news now before we move on, or should we go through some comments first? Let's do some comments.
Let's do some comments and talk about Stoke.
Cool. Russ, good evening. Leeds United podcast news from earlier. Plymouth Argyle away in February. Adults will be charged £26 after we agree reciprocal pricing with Argyle. Great news. Great work by the club as well. It's really nice to see that, they're not focusing around money, and it seems very much fans first.
Got loads of it.
Will will Plymouth be the first away game we don't sell our allocation? Or do you think everyone will go anywhere? It's a hell of a trek, innit?
Man, there's like the Devon Whites and everything down there.
There's Devon Whites, yeah. There's fans now all over the world, man.
Bother.
And there'll be all your usual Irish and Scandinavians flying in down to the airport near Bristol. Is it probably the nearest airport somewhere down that way?
Yes.
Even that's still a drive to Argyle, though.
Are either you going to go?
Depends, maybe. Depends what day of the week it falls on. I can't remember. I think it's a weekday, innit?
I'm not sure.
Hardly a weekday,
Shit.
is it?
If it is,
I can't remember. It'll get moved.
That's
anyway,
like what they used to do to us with Brighton when we used to go to Brighton away on a Tuesday, and it'd finish after trains finished.
All of our games in the Premier League that were midweek were nearly away down in London.
Yeah.
Smarty, good evening, Smarty. I hope you're feeling a little bit better. Let me know if you want me to come and rub your back and bring you some Lucozade. Utensil player is my trademark now, otherwise I'd feel a right bit dickhead. A bit right dickhead, sorry.
You need to get him a t-shirt with utensil player on it.
We do, yeah.
And a utensil with Stewie Dallas's head on it.
Stewie Dallas's head, like he's playing a guitar, so he's a utensil player.
Yeah.
The utensil is actually the guitar is actually like a I don't know, like a giant fucking what's them colander, not colander. What's the things that you use to get soup out?
A sieve,
ladle.
No, a ladle. Yeah, that's it.
This culinary show could take off, man. Fuck the pod.
They ought to know better cookbook.
Yeah,
we need a t-shirt.
Someone send in a recipe for that American gravy and biscuits again. Come on.
We need a t-shirt
Alison Adams.
with Stuart Dallas with just forks for arms and knives for legs.
That's where I was going with that.
That's all right. That'd be better. I just had to overcomplicate things with words I don't know.
You know, it happens.
Utensils.
Alison Adams, Renee, thank you. My record at games is woeful. I think Renee put something along the lines of, Alison, we need to sort your record out at games, because I don't think she's got a very positive record, Alison. Do tell us your record for either this season or last season or overall, if you know it. Just tell us how shit we are when you turn up.
I think she's coming to give us the Irish curse for Huddersfield.
Oh, yeah, it's not me anymore.
Hey, we don't know that. It could be you.
Well, I've been here and we got promoted, so what can you do? Like,
just carry on with the next one, Jay. I'm just going to let me dog in.
No worries. I'll just bring the comments up. I don't even know where he got to. Okay, we got Andy Aylor. Yeah. It's because he's removed it from the list, so I couldn't see. Anyway, Andy Aylor says Town losing 3-0 already, which is great news. Road on Your Mum said, can someone please interpret what this Scottish bloke is saying? I'm new here.
Who's the Scottish bloke? Is that?
It's got to be Karl.
It's got to be me, like.
Gotta be Karl.
Can't be new then if he's heard the Scottish guy joke.
Who knows? Jamie says I'm not as daft as I look, which take as a compliment, mate. Cheers.
Take them all, Jay. Take them all.
I'll take them all. Our own Smarty is back again. Say fucking Bamford can't spake. Bless him. As much use as a fart in a windsock.
Here you go.
I'll let you take back over, Luke, from here.
Andy makes a great point. I hope we play 3-5-2 more often. It was great to watch. Now, whilst I agree, it was great to watch when it works. I think it was a flip of a coin, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We could have quite easily conceded a couple as well as scored. I wouldn't like to see us play that from the start every week. I don't think. Although Dan James at left wing back looked nice.
Yeah, when we start to dominate a team at the midway point of the game, I think after 60, 70 minutes, that's when we'll generally kick it up a gear. I think that's a good time to kind of surprise teams with it. But just to quickly go to a point that you made there, Luke, about we could have easily lost it playing that as well. I heard I was listening to Adam Pope talking about it, and he felt in the stadium when we scored, and a couple of the fans went to the players went to the fans instead of celebrating with the bench. He got the impression and the feeling from that the players knew they had it won.
Really?
Yeah, he said that he felt that within the stadiums, he thinks that, he felt that that's when the players knew they had it won, was when the third goal went in. They just there was something about them, he was saying, where he just it was like they felt invincible and they had the win. Like, so, you know, that's good to hear as well. Like, but anyway, I'm rambling.
No, I love that. I want to see him confident like that. I want to see him believe they can smash teams.
Yeah, it's good for morale. It's good for fans. It's good for the paying punters who travel the length and breadth of the country to watch team play actual football. Like, you know what I mean? That's what it's about at the end of the day. It's obviously it's a passion for us, and we go wherever we can. Like, but they need to, you know, put on a show.
The next one's controversial, boys.
What?
No, I had to include this.
Skip, I don't know why you've done this to us, but would you take Bielsa back now over Farker if he wasn't coaching Uruguay? Not for me. Right, I'm going to put that to a poll because I don't have an answer to that, and I can't give an answer.
That's not
you'll
fair,
have to give us,
man. It's only Tuesday.
You have to give us the result of the previous poll then, Luke.
Oh, yeah. So, man of the match, not including Somerville, we got 64% saying Struijk, 29% Ruta, 2% Ampadu, and other 2%. So, Struijk were the
Struijk with it.
And I think he deserved it.
He's taken on the role as captain fairly well in his stride as well, which is good to see. You know, he's actually, you could see him barking orders at people quite a bit more than he would have been previously without the armband as well. Like, but it's nice to see, like, you know, and Bielsa asking about him as well when the boys brought him his bucket and stuff like that. So it just shows how highly he's thought of. Like,
it does, yeah. In fact, he had Belgium and Holland fighting over him.
Well, this is the thing as well. Like, you know, if we get promoted, how long do you think it'll be before he gets a call up? Because, you know, the Dutch team aren't massively good at the moment either. You know,
imagine
new polls up and
after we used to call him Virgil van Struijk, or somebody did, you know. Imagine him actually in the team with VVD as the two centre backs. That'd be crackers.
Why does that sound like an STD, like VVD?
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Sounds like something you get a cream for.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Luke.
The new poll is up, and the answers. I can't believe it's going mad at the minute. I'm just looking at the people voting, and every time somebody votes, it changes. So the options are Bielsa, Daniel, which is Farker, obviously, and then nope, not answering. Skip, you psycho. And Bielsa's only got 7% of the votes. And Daniel Farker is winning with 53% at the moment. And no, not answering. Skip, you psychos. Got now 4. Well, he's changing all the time.
Can you put that on Twitter?
I don't know if I want to, because I think we'll come under some real fucking stupid comments if we put that on Twitter, don't you?
Interaction, though, isn't it?
It is interaction, but I just can't. Skip must be an absolute psychopath to ask that. I think, like, why would he do that to us? Like, do you know what I mean? I think it's a good question for the end of the season once we've been promoted. I think it'd be like then level playing fields, but. I don't know. It's so difficult. You know how much we felt for Bielsa. Like I've never felt like that about a 66-year-old man in my life. Like, you know what I mean?
Apart from your granddad, perhaps, or something.
Yeah, but like in a different way. I was in absolute awe of the man. And like, look, no, there's no denying Daniel Farker is doing a fucking smashing job so far. But I don't. For me, I don't think we can put him in the same category as Marcelo yet.
He hasn't earned that yet.
No way. Come on.
No, he's not earned it yet.
I will say, without proper thought about this one, I'd be reluctant to interrupt what Farker's doing.
Yes, that's a good point. And I think that's the point of the question. Now, he's not saying Marcelo or Farker, which is where I'm saying there's a clear winner there currently. Now, it would talk about interrupting the course of the season. Say Daniel Farker decides that actually I want to go manage Uruguay and they wanted to do a swap. Then it's all hypothetical, and it's not a bad question, I suppose, but I don't like it.
No, but we've now found out he is a psycho. Yes, he is a psycho.
It's decisive. Listen, I can't believe the scores. I honestly cannot believe that Marcelo Bielsa has got 2 votes out of 10% of the votes, and Daniel Farker has got 50% of the votes, and 40% of people like me are abstaining. So.
There'll be a lot of people abstaining, won't there? Fuck that.
Mental.
It's not a nice question.
No.
What are you wearing, Jay?
Yeah.
It's a Parkway Drive top.
Trailer Park Boys, is it?
Oh my word!
That'll
Get that clip, Danny. Get that clip and get
Yeah.
Mick Foley's face on him.
Yeah, Mick Foley. That's who I was trying to think of.
Cheers, lads.
Great stuff.
What was he
Jammy
called?
said,
Mankind.
yeah, great, good timing this from Jammy. Good to see Jay happy. Yeah, it is for
There
us
you
too.
go.
It is for us too.
Yeah. Always.
Paul Brennan, going back to the comments we made about Leicester, the Foxes playing well, but they can't keep it up. They will get injuries like the rest of the teams in the division. It's a hard slog, 46 matches. Great point. And they are going to lose a lot of players, or a good chunk of their important players. So yeah, good point.
Vardy's got to do hamstring at some point, surely.
Oh, there's no way you can do 46 games in this league. No way.
No, his age.
No
way.
Not in this
and if
division.
he does, I take my hat off to him.
Absolutely.
If he does, he's comfortably the Golden Boot winner. By the way.
Oh yeah.
He needs to be if he stays fit, then there's no other beating him. I don't think.
Unless Pirro beats him.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
These things happen.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Paul Brennan. Again, evening, Paul. It's brilliant. We all have smiles on our faces, and the lads playing for the shirt. ICWE, we are all buzzing.
I think it just means we are all buzzing. It's like one of the icon things that doesn't come across properly in the text.
We are all buzzing, and I love your use of emojis, Paul. They like brighten my day when I see your messages, because you are the emoji king, like Tiger King, but for emojis.
Brightens up the chat.
Oh God, Skip, what are you throwing all these bombs in for tonight? If you knew you would get promoted at Wembley in the playoffs, would you take that over winning the championship again? Yes.
Oh,
he's on one, isn't he?
What is wrong with you tonight, man?
While I would love the day out, I'd love to win the championship and all party outside the ground again.
But we'd get to party around London, which is almost as good.
Yeah, I know. But I don't have a good record with playoff finals, so I'm reluctant to go through it again.
No, but he's saying if you could guarantee it. There's so much hypotheticalism, if that's a word, coming from Skip tonight, isn't there? What if?
Hypotheses.
If this? Yeah, hey, I'm all for it. To be fair, it's some good questions, but yeah, fun, I think I'd go for Wembley. There's something to be said about winning at Wembley, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Karl, where are you? Where's your thoughts?
My thoughts on it are fucking win the fucking championship and just be done with that shite. Because you know what? We're at home on the final day of the season this year.
Don't we play somebody good though?
Southampton at home, final game.
Oh wow!
Just win the league. Forget that playoff heartbreak shite. I don't want that. I just either second or just win the league. Just give us a party on the final day and don't be bleeding wrecking me chops.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's fair. Skip, some more hypotheses from you. Shall we have some 1 or 2 and a bit later on? Scooby, you use a utensil to get soup out of a pan. You posh West End git. Is it gold? What else do you get soup out of a pan with? If you don't use a ladle.
Yeah. Guess look at him now. He's remembered the word. He's going to use it.
But surely it's fucking red hot. If you've cooked fucking soup in a pan, I'm not talking about a cup of soup here, Scooby.
He's at home just tipping the pot into the bowl, perhaps.
Yeah.
Nah, man,
you're talking about making a proper big fucking pan, aren't you?
No, I ladle it. Not that I ever cook soup. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you're not that good, mate.
Hey, that cooking show's coming back. Russ Vernon, Sam Greenwood scores for Borough versus Norwich. Great news.
Yeah,
great news.
Excellent.
Sam Greenwood. It's great that he's doing well on loan.
That's 2 goals he's got now.
Yeah, he's doing well up there.
2 goals and
really well. He got one against Sunderland, didn't he? His old club.
He did.
Or his boyhood club, should we say?
His boyhood team, yeah.
He went from there to Arsenal and then to us, and then to score against them.
So let's continue, shall we? We're 44 minutes in. I probably won't do any more of the news now. We'll probably have a bit of a chat about the upcoming games then. And and take some predictions on those. Any other business, any other rants and stuff like that, bollocks, and then we'll get moving on. So, first things first. Then Stoke tomorrow night. We've heard Alex Neil's comments. Game we should be winning, probably.
For me, yeah.
You'd like to assume so, going off the last 2 performances, yeah.
They've become a bit of a mid-table side, haven't they? I
Well,
want
the
to say
20th.
Yeah, well, this season, yeah. But the last few years have just been hovering around mid-table. I want to see us stuff them.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's a game we should be winning. So based on that, then, do you think? Would you? Because obviously we're going to have to start resting some individuals at some stage of the season when we get the opportunity. Would you be looking at resting some away at Stoke tomorrow night, or would you get the result at Stoke, playing your best available 11, and then look to rest some at home to Huddersfield, where if you were to rest anybody? So I'm talking probably the likes of, we're probably going to be resting Archie Gray at some stage. Maybe Ampadu, maybe Byron because he's injury prone as well. See Shaq maybe coming and Ayling. I mean,
yeah.
What are your thoughts then? Do we go for it midweek away? Do we need to put a better team out at Stoke than we do at Huddersfield, or do we just play the best available 11 until they're unavailable? I'll start with you, Karl.
I think when tomorrow night is kind of one of those games, they're there for the taking, but they're also their home record. They've won 3 at home, but lost 3 at home. They haven't drawn anything, so they're either winning or losing at home. So I think rest Archie Gray tomorrow night. I think we have enough in midfield and enough cover to deal with Stoke away for us to be able to rest Archie Gray for a game. Potentially Sam Byram as well. I'd probably, if we were to rest the 2 of them, I'd probably go with Ayling at left back and bring Shaq in at right back, and just have the more experienced full back playing in the area he's not quite used to. That would be my opinion, and then put Kamara and Ampadu in the middle. And
is that they're the only changes you'd make then? Just those 2?
No, I'd bring in Nanto. And take out maybe Dan James or Somerville, give one of them a kind of a rest. I think if you're going to go full hog for a game, it's the game at the weekend, and that's when you play your best 11. You play your best 11 in front of your home crowd. I know the away fans are going to be travelling a fair old distance, but I think there's enough depth now for the first time in a long time in the squad where we can look at the players that aren't playing regularly and go, right, okay, we can actually start Bamford, maybe give Jorginho or Pero a rest and bring him on with 20, 25 to go, that kind of way. So I do think we have enough options as backup to be able to make 1 or 2, maybe 3 changes. It'd be good to get minutes in the legs for Nanto as well to start the game from the get-go, see what his impact is like from the start, you know?
Yeah, no, Jay, do you share those sentiments, or do you think Karl's waffling out of his teeth?
I'm sort of torn between. I don't want to disrupt a winning team when they're playing away from home, but at the same time, with the games so close together, I also agree with Karl when he says you want your best players playing at home and getting the crowd fired up and get the place rocking. So I probably would risk making some changes. I don't know if I'd put Ayling at left back. I think that's a bit wacky for me, that one, Karl. But
yeah, that would. I'd never seen him play left back.
I'd rather have Ayling play where he knows and play Shaq there because he's played there before.
At left back,
he did all right at left back for us.
Yeah, there's more familiarity there than there would be doing them the other way.
Perhaps, yeah. I can see that as well. But
I'm
just thinking for experience, a player who knows.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Anyway.
I won't make too many changes.
Let's try and agree a team.
Let's try
and agree a team between us. Sorry, Jay.
Just hang on a second. Oh, go on then. If you're going to do that.
Well, I think if you're going to name your team, then I thought between us, let's try and agree who we would play tomorrow. Not necessarily we think Farker's going to play, but obviously Meslier is not going to move. Rodon and Stroik are shoe-ins as well. So we're talking right back, left back. Archie Gray comes out for me tomorrow. I think we're all in agreement. He's probably due a rest after the 3 England games.
I think, yeah.
Are we bringing in? Let's go left back first. Are we still starting Sam Byram? I think he's too good to be dropped.
Yeah, I think if Archie's coming out there, I'm putting him at right back and putting Shaq at left.
Right. So you're playing Shaq at left, Byram at right back. Even though Byram's been.
Having said that, Byram has been very good at left back. So, I mean, I don't know. I'd take it either way around as long as they're the fullbacks.
The last time Byram was to play 3 games in a week, he didn't start against Hull because he went to Fark and said he wasn't able for 3 games in a week. So, do you think maybe does Fark take that into account and bench Byram for tomorrow night so that he's there for Saturday, which is going to be obviously a more kind of emotionally fueled game because it's a derby, like.
Oh, here's a shout, Martin Nolan, Dan James at left back.
Yeah, that's if we play 3 at the back, like Alison said.
Yeah, if we did that, then back, I don't think we will though. I don't think we're going to change too drastically unless we are losing. I think that's an option. I think that's a secret weapon. I don't think we're ever going to see Dan James as a left back in a back forever. But yeah. So what we're saying then? Are we going to rest both of them tomorrow then, or are we going to say we're going to rest them at the weekend? Are we going to rest them both for the away game at Stoke?
I think so.
I think we probably will have to. I'd like to see Byron play, but yeah, if he's said that before, and
so we're bringing
stronger against them fuckers.
We're bringing in then Ayling and Shaq either way around. Probably Ayling right back, Shaq left back. Yeah,
I imagine so. Yeah,
Andy can't make up his mind. He was agreeing with me 1 second, and now he's turned on me. What the fuck's going on? Come on, Andy, man. Please, I thought you had my back there. I was going to bring you for pints and talk about crazy football tactics for a while.
Right then. But then again, Russ says Archie's set to play tomorrow night, it seems. So who knows?
Well, Farker came out and said that he was going to play Archie, didn't he? He said, I don't think he needs a rest, and everyone's, decided he's definitely playing. He might just have said that. He might be completely intending to rest him. We don't know. We're just going off what we think.
And we're speaking hypothetically. We might be thinking that Archie Gray needs a rest, where he might be actually showing in training that he's still fit as a fiddle and he's not picking up any knocks. And he's, you know what I mean? He's
exactly.
We just don't know. So we're completely speaking. We don't know as any more or any less than you guys. Well, probably less, in fact. But yeah. So we're changing. We're giving both the fullbacks a rest because they did look laboured. In the first half against Norwich, I'll be honest, they did get beaten quite a lot as well.
They work hard in that system. It's high intensity.
They do. So going into midfield, are you changing anything between Ampadu and Kamara? We're leaving those in. Anyone getting a rest?
I don't think.
Go on, Carl. Sorry.
No. Go on. I'd find me there. Go on.
If Ampadu is tired at all, I'd be tempted to throw Gruev in just so we can see what he's got.
Is this the type of game you put somebody in and chuck somebody in that we haven't seen anything of?
With a view to bringing Ampadu off the bench if needed, or alternatively...
See, I'd do it the opposite way around.
Yeah, alternatively, start Ampadu, give him 60 minutes max, though.
Yeah.
Bring him off.
Get a foot in the game, and then bring on Gruev and see what he can do. I was going to say something similar to you.
I think he's got a feature. He's got a feature, either in this game or Huddersfield.
So let's say we're going with the same midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Go on. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for 6
wingers then. Do we Dan James, Cree Somerville? Do we drop either or swap either of those? Dan James, the leading assister in the league, I think still, and Somerville absolutely on fire.
It's mad that, isn't it? Leading assister in the league, but out of the two of them, he's the one you'd pick to drop in it.
Absolutely, and I want to see more from Jaden Anthony and Willie Onto, and they've all got to get the game time somewhere.
Yeah, and Bamford's in for a shout as well.
We haven't got that far forward yet, Carl. We're just talking about wingers.
He's gone full Farker, 6 strikers.
He's gone rogue. I still think Cree and Dan James start because of the form they're in.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Do you think it's most likely it's just going to be the same side but earlier subs? Aside from maybe Archer,
depending on how we're doing, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think we will start with the same team, other than maybe one or both of the fullbacks maybe getting a rest.
So we would take out Dan James, right? But
I think I'd take Dan James out for a game. Yeah, I'd like to see Jayden Anthony in there. Not Willie. I don't think Willie's ready for a start yet after his injury, but I'd like to see Jayden Anthony get a start.
I'd like to see him play. He's looked good when he's been on. He's scored, and he's a handy player. I knew nothing about him really when he came, and I were a bit like, "What the fuck?" when I saw that we.
I think Skip's got it bang on there. I think that's what we'd all agree on for the starting at Wednesday.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think Anthony has shown very much in a short period of playing time that he's had that he's very, very, very good on and off the ball.
Definitely got something about him.
The run across Somerville against Norwich for the third goal, it was brilliant. It opened up that yard of space for Somerville to just take one more touch and then put it round the keeper. It was brilliant. I'm not saying that he's the only one that can do it, but for someone who's not been on the pitch as long as everyone else to be that in tune so quickly with what's going on, I think he does deserve a start now at this stage.
I mean, he's got to get a lot of credit for me as Anthony because, he must not have thought he was going anywhere in the transfer window.
Yeah,
he'd started the last 3 games, hadn't he?
Yeah, and he jumped at the chance then.
He were one of the best players in the Championship, and it looked like he were going to be, part of their team going forward and a big part of what they do. And then suddenly it's like, oh no, we need you to leave because we want this player so badly from Leeds. They won't let him go unless we send someone back. So sorry, kid, it's you. And he's just, you know what? He ain't moaned, he ain't complained. He's turned up, he's put a shift in, and he's looking pretty bloody good. And I think he needs to get a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, and he was quite dominant in the Championship last year as well. He started something like 37 or 38 of the 46 games, I think. And to say that they let him go at the drop of a hat to take on someone who's crocked to within an inch of his life.
Who didn't even get on the bench at the weekend.
Didn't even get on the bench at the weekend.
It's brilliant.
mean, come on, he played he played bleeding 92 games for them and 12 goals over the space of 3 seasons. That's a good return, and they've just let him go willy-nilly.
Yeah.
They
absolutely threw him out like fucking rubbish, didn't they? No, someone's got to go. Go on, off you go.
Yeah, but I know he's only got 12 goals in those 93 games, but look at the amount of assists he's potentially got in those 93 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's an exciting player. And there was a question about him there, I've started really right at the end, and I'll come on to some more star messages. But unfortunately, I don't believe there's any clause in either his or in Sinny's contract, so it looks like they both come back either way. However, if we were to be promoted and we wanted to buy Jayden Anthony, I would suggest that we'd be in a good bargaining position to sign him. So,
especially since they're going
getting relegated.
It would be fantastic to see Sinny have to come back and see Jayden Anthony in training and know that this guy replaced him because he's going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool. So we've basically just named the team that's played every week minus Archie Gray and Byram then, and just replace those two. But what I just wanted to do is fly through a few more comments about, because there's been some relative to that, and then we'll move on and take some predictions. Are you all right to take those down for me, Jay?
Yes.
Good stuff. So Skip said, fucking another one, hasn't he? If the LUFC didn't exist anymore, what club would you start following as a loyal fan? I would rather eat my crusty sock that's been at the side of my bed for the last 10 years.
Have you accidentally ate some funny mushrooms tonight or something, Skip?
I don't know what he's been up to. Scooby says, you eat it out the pan, or how do you get water out of a kettle? Hey?
I think Scooby and Skip are sitting right beside each other.
Yeah, man, they've been on
Scooby's
whatever you guys are on.
Scooby's drinking an oxtail soup out of a saucepan.
But what's that got to do with a kettle? You pour it out of a bloody kettle. It's got a spout. Andy, you pick the pan up and pour it in. What, in your mouth?
Into the bowl.
I don't know. The pan's boiling hot if you've made homemade soup.
Your handle shouldn't be boiling hot unless you've got some kind of dodgy pan. Anyway, you're talking about
Jammy's hit the nail on the head here. It's a good show tonight, isn't it? Yes, it is. Thank you, Jammy.
I think so.
Thank you for your continued support. Russ Vernon, bit of update. Full-time news. from the under-21s. They beat Hertha Berlin. Leeds make it 2 from 2 in the Premier League International Cup, and with a 3-1 here, with 3-1 win here at York. Goals from Karl, Bate, and Joseph. Good to see.
Excellent.
Good to see. And somebody commented. I retweeted the lineup today on Twitter, and somebody said, "Good lineup that." And I was like, "Yeah, it actually is, isn't it?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." Goes to show what sort of youth side you can have when you've got backup in the first team, and you're not relying on dragging these youngsters to sit on a bench effectively. So yeah, cool, great news. Cheers, Russ, for the update as ever. Martin Nolan, you only use a ladle for stew or coddle?
What's a coddle?
Is that a cuddle?
No.
Is that something that has like fish in it or something?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah,
Mussels or
coddle,
something.
fucking haddock or something shite.
Never heard of it, Martin.
I've heard of it, and I've probably eaten it, so it's probably nice.
Scooby then on the rotation. Yeah, defo rest a few. I think he's a rotation fan, and I want him fresh. Particularly for 6-pointer the week after. 6-pointer against Huddersfield? Oh, he's on about Leicester on the Friday, maybe.
Got to be, yeah.
Got to be. I think
Huddersfield, by the way, are now 4 down.
Fucking brilliant. Can we just have a quick update before we go on to the next one? What's the scores in the Championship currently, Jay?
Go on then. We've got Huddersfield are losing 4-0 at home to Cardiff. Cardiff City. Millwall losing 2-1 at home to Blackburn. Norwich
read them like the BBC
1-0.
guy, the final score guy. Read them like
Norwich 0, Middlesbrough 1, Swansea City 0, Watford 0. That's enough of that. Leicester are winning 1-0 over Sunderland, and West Brom are drawing 0-0 with QPR.
Some results there. This is a great question by Scooby, actually. And I like this Scooby that likes to get involved and be a little bit more sensible than he often is. But if Bill plays, will Pascal keep the armband? He should do for me, but don't think he will because it's time. The baton was passed yesterday. Yeah, good question. Stroik has been a good captain, but Bill is the vice captain and Cooper is the club captain, and that hasn't changed. So I imagine Bill still gets the armband, but it is a great question. Do we install more confidence in Stroik and give him that additional leadership? I mean, it'd be some statement, wouldn't it, to say, actually, Pascal, we're playing Luke Ayling at right back tonight, but you're going to keep the captain's armband.
Yeah, it would.
What are your two? How do you feel about that, Jay? What do you think?
I'd be okay with it happening, but I don't think it'll happen. It's the captaincy is a hierarchy, and you've got your captain, your vice captain, and then whoever they decide is next in line after that. So if one of those guys on the pitch, they've got to have the armband. It's the unspoken rule, isn't it?
It seems mad that our captain and vice captain aren't even starters in our starting 11, though, doesn't it? Like at this stage,
mad.
When you look at the age of our team,
It's for their influence over the squad, I think, isn't it? And
of course
the status in the squad as who they are and what they've done and how long they've been here, sort of thing. But yeah, it is strange. I think this will be the last season we'll see that for sure. But yeah, very odd.
Agreed.
Like when you look at the team that we play, Byram is now the oldest by nearly 6 years.
I love how young the team is.
I think the average age of our team is something like 20.2 or something like that. Like Rodon and Ampadu are only like 24, 25. Piro's 24.
They're younger than that. Ampadu's 22.
22. Well, there you go.
That's all he is.
So you're like, if Byram's the elder statesman now at 30, like it's like it's just mad to think that a team that young is doing it all. Like
it's mad. It is mad. I've got absolutely no doubt that Ampadu will be a good established Premier League midfielder one day.
Hopefully for us.
Hope so.
And it's nice that someone is wearing the number 4 shirt who's actually playing like the number 4 that we all remember from
Leeds United. Number 4.
But stands outside the club shop. You know.
Yeah.
It's nice that he's representing it fairly well now. To be fair to him.
Is a number 4 in the Leeds mould that we've been crying out for a while
pretty
now.
much since Calvin left.
Yeah, I was just going to look at the average age of our squad in the last game, actually. Just bear with me 2 seconds. I think Dan James probably takes that up slightly as well, doesn't it? Favourite.
He's only like 26, isn't he?
Is he? I thought he was older than that. Lineups. So Norwich's average age was 27 and ours was 24.2. 24.2. Yeah, Joel Pirro's in his mid to late 20s, isn't he? Glenn Carr as well. Dan James is 25.
Yeah, close.
Yeah. Joel Pirro is 24. Fucking younger than I thought. So I don't know where that number gets thrown up. I mean, Byron probably is the only one who takes that up, and he's only 30. He's not, you know what I mean? He's not that old. So, moving on. Scooby again. He's on about Gruev now. I think this is a Gruev argument with Ampadu, but maybe Gruev helps just keep it ticking and tight for 60. Then Amp comes on for the last 60 picks of holes in the tied legs. That's not really what Ampadu's about, though, is it? He's more about having, the stability in front of that back four and then picking the plasters out. So I think we'd probably go with that. Get amongst them and then maybe bring Gruev on if we get the chance or need to. Paul Brennan, respect to Anthony. He wanted to come to Leeds. What a player the 49ers did. A shrewd bit of business. You can't argue with that. No. You cannot argue with that. And then Paul goes on to say, Ampadu captain for me. He wears the famous number 4 shirt with pride. Billy Bremner for King would be proud of Ampadu. Yeah, I like it.
You don't read the emojis out, Luke. It's just a Billy Bremner and it's a crown because he is the king.
King Billy Bremner.
Come on, you've got kids, man. You should know this stuff.
I just want to address something here in the comments.
Go ahead.
If it's a Dublin thing, Martin, I'm from Mayo, so there you go. I do recognise the name of.
I do recognise the word cover, but I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is. But,
you look like your brain is like backtracking, trying to find it in the depths somewhere.
Trying to locate it there, it's not happening.
You look like you're hearing that noise that modems used to make when you connect to the internet back in the day.
I'm scared by that noise when you wanted to put down the telephone. I'm on the internet.
Kids today will never know.
Oh, God. Oh, look. There it is. It's nearly there. She's nearly got no phone.
Bournemouth can buy Cine unless we get promoted. Did not know that. Cheers, Ross. Anyway, let's move on very, very quickly. Get some predictions for
okay, Martin.
For Stoke to start with. Yeah, let's start with Stoke. And Russ has got the first one in. 3-0 Leeds.
Right then,
straight up
the fans, and that's Russ Vernon. Karl, I'll come to you next. You little pod dodger, coddle you.
The pod coddler.
4-1.
4-1 Leeds at Stoke.
4-1 Leeds.
You sure?
I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds.
Well, I went 3-1 the last day, and I just thought, fuck it, just go 4-1.
I'm going for a big 3-0 Leeds.
Oh, 3-0.
You another clean sheet, aren't we? 3-0.
3-0.
Big 3-0.
Yeah.
Cool. Right then. So everything we basically said about Stoke is reversed then against Huddersfield. So we'd try and keep the strongest team out for the home game against Huddersfield. Is that what we're saying? Play strongest 11
at home.
I think so. Yeah.
We're not going to. I mean, we won't pick a team. Everyone will be bored of us talking by then. But what we will do is very, very quickly take some predictions. So first one in the comments after now we will take for Huddersfield, and then I will come to you first, Jason, as you went last time.
I will have a 2-1 to Leeds. I'd like it to be a bit more comfortable.
Rene's gone the same for the fans as well. Rene.
Probably score just to upset us. And
I'm going 4-0 Leeds at home at the weekend. Somebody is due a fucking hiding.
I'm going 3-0.
You don't have to give me a sec to actually write these down, you know. What did you go, Luke?
What are you writing it with, a quill?
I had to write mine. I had to write Rene fans, and I'm writing Luke. Come on, I'm typing here. What were yours? Did you say 4-0?
Yeah, 4-0.
Yours, Karl, was?
Mine was 3-0.
No. 3-0.
3-0, yeah.
3-0 and a turd.
Turd on your...
Good stuff.
Cool. I can't remember what else we do now. Oh, we got anyone pissed off about anything at the minute?
I'm buzzing, mate.
There must be something that pisses you off. Like just on the daily. Jay, why don't you tell us about
the daily?
Yeah, it can be anything.
Oh,
like,
loads of stuff, man.
Right, go on then. Come on, let's have an auto bet from you, Karl. On the spot. On the spot.
No.
You can. Anything. Right, I'm putting you on the spot.
Auto no better with Rachel Adedeji.
Karl, tell me what's pissed you off this week.
Do it now, Karl.
Just everyday shit, man. Just everything. Just like you got told, there's a big. No, it doesn't matter. I can't be fucking hold. No.
Come on, get it off your chest, mate. You'll feel better.
No, I get it off my chest online. It's fine.
Yeah. So we don't know what he's talking about. He's not going to tell us.
Jay, you look really ready. Have you checked your blood pressure recently?
Yeah, it's all good, mate. It's this fucking stupid lighting. I'll get red as still if I do get angry.
Your head looks red as fuck, and your arms look pale as fuck.
No, I know. I don't actually look like that in real life. It's just the lighting. It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. I don't think I've got an auto bit this week. I'm a little bit tired, but other than that, my dog's shit in the house. He's getting old. He's getting really old, and I can't even be angry with him because he's that old. But it does stink, and it pisses me off a little bit. I don't know if that really counts, but yeah, nothing else really. I'll tell you actually, yeah. Fucking clubs that don't serve beer on the concourse at half time.
Yes.
Here we go.
What is that about?
I'm with you.
There was 1,800 Leeds fans there, right? And let's suggest only half of them even drink, or the majority of the house. So let's say 1,000 drink, maybe 3 or 4 pints, 5 pints maybe on the concourse. So that's 5,000, 4,000, 5,000 pints drunk by Leeds fans of the people that drink. That's suggesting only half drink, and they only have 5 pints. Now times that by 5. £6. That's 30 grand they've missed out on.
I know.
Can't
in
fix
the space
stupid.
of 90 minutes.
Is it the police that tell them not to, or is it the club's decision?
Don't know. I think it's a club decision, but I honestly don't know. But Norwich, I was pissed off about that.
Fucking Delia.
Yeah, it's bad enough that they have to come and sit in the West Stand in them away seats, man. Let's just not serve them beer either. Like,
yeah, I just don't get it. I just think
it ruins your day out.
The fans have travelled all the way to Norwich, and a lot of them went the long way around because the A1 was closed and trains were cancelled as well. And they get all the way there, and we'd had a few beers before. There was quite a lot of people out in the away pubs and that, and then you get into the ground expecting to have yourself a beer. And all they've got is fucking water and soft drinks and coffees and that.
It's outrageous.
It's bad form, that.
It's absolutely
man. There was a few clubs did it last season. Wolves did it, I think. There was a few. I went to. Yeah, Allison. Oof. Yeah, I mean, 47 quid to be up there is daylight robbery. But
that's outrageous.
And the thing is, like, I can see that kind of backfiring on the club soon enough, man. If they're offering away fans reciprocal pricing, it's going to backfire on them soon enough. I think that the prices they're charging for seats up in the
people are going to start saying, "Why the fuck am I paying nearly double?"
Yeah, when the away fans are getting in there for next to nothing, like
it is a piss take. I'd be fuming if I had to pay that.
Yeah, I think there needs to be it needs to be looked into, really, like, because across the board there should be some, like in the Premier League, where it's 30 quid max, whatever, and it's up to you then to have the facilities potentially to house more fans, I guess, or whatever the case may be. But bloody hell,
somebody wants to remind them that the 20-year season tickets have finished now, so they're making extra money.
No, they don't finish till the end of this season, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
We'll remind them next season then.
Yeah.
Anyway,
any other business? Anybody else got anything they want to discuss before we do the little bit of housekeeping around mental health?
No,
nothing for me, mate. I'm going to Stoke tomorrow by the looks of it. So
yeah, good stuff.
Oh, you have to Stoke.
Yeah, I was going to sell a ticket because I'm absolutely skint, but I was too lazy to try and really sell it, so I'm just going to go.
Good man.
Yeah.
fuck
Have you checked the weather? I don't think they'll let you in dressed like that.
I won't be going like this, mate. Don't worry about that. Fuck me. I'll be wrapped up.
Cool. All right, then. Last thing for tonight is quick mention for Andy's Man Club October events. We did do it last night, but a couple of events still coming up before the end of the month. They've got the 27th. They've got the snooker pool or snooker night, Northern Snooker on Kirkstall Road, 6:30 till 9. And then on Sunday the 29th, they've got the walk and talk at Bramley Meeting outside the Baths. Anyone's welcome. Friends, families, pets. I suppose probably to the walk and talk, maybe not for the snooker. But yeah, just get yourselves along. If anyone is struggling, our DMs are always open. You might not. It depends which one of us picks it up, but you might not always get a lot of sense. But we will try our best to try and support you. I'll give you you were doing so well, Scooby, and I'm not even going to flash that comment up. But yeah, but yeah, if you do, give us a shout. For the rest of you, hopefully see a few of you down at Ellen Road on Saturday for the early kickoff. I think the majority of us, if not all of us, will be there in some shape.
Oh, it is a
form.
12:30 quick kickoff, isn't it?
It is a 12:30 quick
Jesus, I fucking totally forgot about that.
I'd forgotten too.
Good job. Oh, good job. You reminded me of that, Luke. Thanks, man.
No, pleasure, mate. Pleasure. As ever, thanks everyone for all your comments. Thanks for watching. Tell everybody about it. Do smash a like and a subscribe. We have still got the Pyro shirt up as well, so it's the pinned tweet. If you go on our Twitter at Orta No Better, chance of winning a Pyro shirt, the fruit salad one, with his name on the back. Once he reaches 10 league goals this season.
Big Russ is there Saturday.
See you there, Russ.
Oi.
I hope to bump into you, Russ. Mine's a Heineken.
Oh, Roland Buttonubs would like the outro music. That is by Jen Jammin Sax, I believe. And that is
well done.
Yes, if you follow her on Twitter, I'm pretty sure she's got links at Jen Jammin or Jen Jammin Sax or something she's called. And she very kindly allowed us to use that as an outro music, as part of our outro music. But yeah, that's probably a good note and a good time to actually play it when I can be finding it.
Will do for me, cock.